God never intended for you to carry the burdens of life alone. Yet so many wake up each morning with a weight pressing down on their hearts. Burdens of uncertainty, fear of the unknown, struggles that seem to have no end. They walk through life believing they must fight every battle, solve every problem, and find every answer by their own strength. But that was never God's plan. From the very beginning, He designed you for dependence on Him. He is not a distant force watching from the heavens, waiting to see how well you manage your troubles. No, He is a loving Father standing with open arms, ready to take on what you were never meant to carry. He has always desired for His children to walk in peace, not in constant worry. When the world tells you to toughen up, to rely on your own wisdom, God says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." He invites you to trade your anxieties for His peace. He is not asking you to ignore your problems. He is asking you to place them in His hands, because His hands are stronger than yours. His wisdom is higher than yours. His power reaches beyond what you can see. You see, the weight you carry was never yours to bear. It's why your heart grows weary, why your spirit feels drained. You were created to lean on Him. And the moment you surrender, the moment you stop trying to hold everything together on your own, is the moment His peace will flood your life in a way you never imagined. Let God take over your worries, because He already holds the answers, the solutions, and the strength you need. Worry is the enemy of faith. One cannot thrive where the other exists. When worry takes hold, faith weakens. When faith rises, worry fades. The two cannot walk together. One looks at problems and magnifies them. The other looks at God and trusts Him. Worry is a thief. It steals your joy, your sleep, your peace of mind. It whispers lies, telling you that your future is uncertain, that things will never get better. It makes you believe that if you just think about a problem long enough, somehow you can fix it. But worry has never solved a single problem. It only creates more. It drains your energy, clouds your judgment, and distances you from the very one who has the power to change your situation. Faith, on the other hand, releases you. It does not ignore reality, but it shifts your focus from the problem to the problem solver. Faith says God is bigger than this. He has a plan. He is in control. Worry makes you feel alone. Faith reminds you that God is with you. Worry locks you in fear. Faith opens the door to peace. So the question is, which will you choose? Because you cannot serve both. You cannot say, "I trust God," while holding on to fear. You cannot believe in His promises while living in constant doubt. Jesus said, "Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself." That is not just a comforting statement, it is a command. Let go of worry, embrace faith, and watch how God moves in ways you never expected. Jesus did not come to add to your burdens, He came to take them away. Yet so many people live as if following Him means carrying even more weight, more rules, more pressure. They see faith as another thing to manage, another responsibility on top of everything else. But that is not the Jesus of the Bible. That is not the Savior who walked this earth, healing the broken, lifting the weary, and calling out to the burdened, saying, "Come to me, and I will give you rest." Jesus did not come to place a heavier yoke on your shoulders. He came to remove the chains that have been holding you back. He did not come to give you a list of things to worry about. He came to set you free from the worries that have been weighing you down. He did not come so you could stress about doing everything right. He came because you never could, and He did it for you. Think about it. Every person Jesus touched, every soul he healed, every sinner he forgave, he took something from them. He took away their sickness, their shame, their sin, their sorrow. He did not tell them to figure things out on their own. He did not demand that they carry their burdens a little longer. He simply said, "Follow me." And when they did, their burdens were lifted. That same Jesus is calling to you today. He sees what is weighing on your heart. He knows the silent battles you fight, and he has not asked you to hold on. He has asked you to let go. Give him your worries. Give him your fears. Give him everything that is too heavy for you to carry. Because he did not come to make life harder. He came to God's peace is not like the world's peace. The world's peace is fragile. It changes with the economy, with relationships, with health, with success. The moment something goes wrong, it vanishes. But the peace of God is unshakable. It is not built on external circumstances, but on the unchanging nature of the Almighty. It is the kind of peace that allowed Jesus to sleep in the middle of a storm while his disciples were terrified. It is the peace that carried Paul through persecution and David through the valley of the shadow of death. This peace does not mean you will never face hardship. It means hardship will never shake your foundation. It does not mean you will never have struggles. It means struggles will never have you. Because when your peace is rooted in trust, no storm can take it away. When you truly believe that God is in control, fear loses its grip and anxiety fades. So, if you have been waiting for life to calm down before you feel at peace, stop. What peace is not found in the absence of trouble. It is found in the presence of God. Trust him, and his peace will guard your heart, no matter what comes your way. Fear and anxiety are chains, but God holds the key to your freedom. Worry wraps itself around the mind, tightening its grip until every thought is consumed with fear. Anxiety whispers lies, convincing you that you are trapped, that there is no way out, that things will never change. But that is not the life God intended for you. God did not create you to live in bondage to fear. He did not design you to be weighed down by burdens he already promised to carry. The enemy wants to keep you in chains because a fearful heart cannot walk in faith. But Jesus came to break those chains. He came to set the captives free. And when he sets you free, you are free indeed. The key to your freedom is not found in more control, more planning, or more worrying. It is found in surrender. It is found in the moment you choose to place your fears in the hands of the one who holds all things together. The moment you stop trying to fix everything on your own and start trusting the one who never fails. Imagine a prisoner holding the key to his own cell, yet refusing to use it. That is what worry does. It keeps you locked in a prison you were never meant to stay in. But God is standing at the door saying, "Give it to me. Trust me. Let me take over." And when you do, those chains will fall. The fear that once controlled you will lose its power. Because the moment you let God take over your worries, you step into the freedom he has already prepared for you. The storms of life may rage, but the one who calmed the sea is with you. Life will not always be smooth sailing. There will be days when the winds howl, when the waves crash, when everything around you seems to be falling apart. Fear will try to take over. Worry will whisper, "What if you don't make it?" But in those moments you must remember, Jesus is in the boat with you. The disciples once found themselves in a violent storm. The waves were high, the wind was fierce, and the water was filling their boat. They were terrified, convinced they were about to perish. But where was Jesus? Asleep. Not because he didn't care, but because he was never afraid. He already knew the storm had no power over him. And when the disciples cried out, "Lord, save us," he stood, rebuked the wind and the waves, and in an instant there was peace. That same Jesus is with you in your storm. The situation that seems out of control is not out of his control. The problems that feel overwhelming are not overwhelming to him. He is not pacing back and forth, wondering how things will turn out. He is in full command, and when the time is right, he will speak, and the storm will cease. But even before that moment comes, he offers you peace, not because the storm has ended, but because his presence is greater than the storm itself. The waves may rise, but they cannot sink you when Jesus is in your boat. The wind may blow, but it cannot shake you when your faith is in him. So do not fear the storm. Trust the one who commands it. Let him take over your worries, and you will find peace even in the middle of the raging sea. Worry will never change your future, but God's plan will. People spend countless hours, days, even years trapped in worry, turning over the same problems in their minds, replaying worst-case scenarios, trying to predict what tomorrow holds. But has worry ever changed the outcome of a single situation? Has it ever added peace to a restless heart? No. Worry has no power to shape the future, but it does have the power to steal your present. God, on the other hand, does not just know the future, he holds it in his hands. His plan is not uncertain, it is not dependent on human effort, nor is it shaken by life's uncertainties. While you stress over what is ahead, he has already gone before you. While you wrestle with what ifs, he has already written the story. Think about the moments in your past when you worried about things that never happened, the sleepless nights, the anxiety, the fear, all for situations that God already had under control. If he was faithful then, why would he not be faithful now? If he has carried you this far, why would he not carry you the rest of the way? Worry is a weight that slows you down, but faith in God's plan sets you free. You do not need all the answers. You do not need to figure everything out. You only need to trust the one who already has it figured out. Your future is not in the hands of chance. It is in the hands of a loving Father who is working all things for your good. Let go of worry and let him lead the way. Letting God take over your worries does not mean escape. It means transformation. Some people hesitate to surrender their burdens to God because they fear it means ignoring reality, pretending problems do not exist, or abandoning responsibility. But trusting God is not an escape from life's challenges. It is the only way to truly face them. When you try to carry everything alone, your vision becomes clouded by fear. Worry makes problems seem larger than they really are and drains your strength before you even take the first step. But when you give your worries to God, something changes, not just around you, but within you. You begin to see your challenges through his eyes, not your own. You no longer approach them in weakness, but in the strength he provides. Think of a caterpillar struggling in the cocoon. If it tries to escape too soon, it will never develop the wings it needs to fly. The process may be difficult, but it leads to transformation. In the same way, God is not calling you to run from your struggles. He is calling you to trust him through them. He does not just remove burdens. He uses them to build you, shape you, and draw you closer to him. This is why surrendering to God is not about giving up. It is about stepping into a greater purpose. When you release your fears, you make room for his peace. When you stop trying to control everything, you open the door for his power to work in your life. And when you finally let go, you do not fall, you rise. Because the hands that hold your worries are the same hands that lift you higher than you ever imagined. God's strength is made perfect in your weakness. The world teaches you to hide your struggles, to pretend you have everything together, to rely on your own abilities. But God never asked you to be strong on your own. He never expected you to carry the weight of life without Him. In fact, He does His greatest work when you admit, Lord, I can't do this without you. When you hold on to worry, you are relying on your own strength. You are trying to figure everything out, to solve problems that only God can handle, to bear burdens that were never meant for you. But the moment you surrender, the moment you release your worries into His hands, that is when His power takes over. That is when you begin to see Him move in ways you never expected. Look at the stories in Scripture. God did not choose the strongest, the wisest, or the most capable. He chose those who were weak in the world's eyes so that His glory could shine through them. He used a shepherd to defeat a giant, a timid man to lead an army, and a group of fishermen to change the world. Why? Because His strength is revealed in surrender. That same God is with you today. He is not asking you to be strong enough. He is asking you to trust Him enough. Your weakness is not a barrier to His power. It is an opportunity for Him to show His greatness in your life. So stop trying to carry it all. Let go of your worries and watch how His strength lifts you higher than you ever could on your own. Faith is not about having all the answers. It is about trusting the one who does. So many people hesitate to surrender their worries to God because they want to understand everything first. They want to see the full picture, to know exactly how things will work out before they let go. But that is not faith. Faith is stepping forward even when you cannot see the whole path, believing that God is already there, making a way. Think of a child holding their father's hand while walking in the dark. That child does not know every turn, every step, or every obstacle ahead, but they do not need to, because they trust the one leading them. That is the kind of faith God is calling you to have. Not a faith that demands explanations, but a faith that simply believes. Lord, you know the way, and that is enough for me. The truth is, you will never have all the answers. You will not always understand why things happen the way they do. But that is where trust comes in. If you could see every detail of the future, there would be no need for faith. If you knew how every challenge would resolve, there would be no need for trust. But God calls you to believe not because you have all the details, but because you know His character. He is faithful, He is good, He is in control. So do not let uncertainty keep you trapped in worry. Do not let the need for answers rob you of peace. You may not see what is ahead, but you know the one who does, and when you trust Him, you will find that even in the unknown, His presence is enough. God's timing is never rushed, but it is always perfect. One of the greatest causes of worry is impatience. Wanting answers now, solutions immediately, and breakthroughs on your schedule. When things do not happen as quickly as you expect, doubt begins to creep in. You start asking, why is this taking so long? Has God forgotten me? Is He even listening? But God is never late, and He is never early. He moves at the right time, in the right way, for the right purpose. Look at the stories in the Bible. Joseph had a dream, but years of hardship came before he saw it fulfilled. Moses waited decades before stepping into his calling. Even Jesus, the Son of God, did not begin His ministry until the appointed time. Why? Because God was working behind the scenes, preparing them, shaping them, and positioning them for His plan. If they had rushed ahead, they would have missed what He was doing. The same is true for you. If God has not answered yet, it is not because He has forgotten you. It is because He is preparing something greater than you can imagine. What feels like delay is often divine preparation. What seems like silence is often God working in ways you cannot yet see. So do not let impatience turn into worry. Do not mistake waiting for being abandoned. God's plan is never late, and when the time is right, He will move. Your job is not to stress over the timing, but to trust the one who holds it. Because when God finally acts, you will see that His way was better than anything you could have planned. God's provision is greater than your needs. One of the biggest reasons people worry is the fear of not having enough. Not enough money, not enough strength, not enough answers. They look at their circumstances and think, how will I make it? How will I get through this? What if I run out? But the God who created the heavens and the earth is not limited by human resources. He is not bound by what you can see. His provision is greater than your need, and He will never fail you. When the Israelites wandered in the wilderness, they had no food, no water, no way to survive on their own. But God provided manna from heaven. When Elijah was in hiding, God sent ravens to bring him food. When a widow had only a handful of flour left, God made sure it never ran out. Over and over, Scripture shows that when His people trust Him, He provides, often in ways they never expected. God's provision is not just about material things. It is about everything you need: strength for the battle, wisdom for the decisions, peace for the storm. Whatever you lack, He is able to supply. But the key is trust. Worry will make you hold on tightly to what little you have, afraid to let go. But faith teaches you that God is your source, and He will never let you go without. So stop looking at what you do not have, and start looking at the one who has everything. His supply never runs dry, His hands are never empty, and His promises never fail. When you release your worries to Him, you will find that He is more than enough. God's love for you is the foundation of your trust. At the heart of every worry is a question: does God really care about me? Does He see what I'm going through? Will He take care of me? And the answer, written from Genesis to Revelation, is a resounding yes. You are not just another person in a crowd. You are not forgotten or overlooked. The same God who numbers the stars also numbers the hairs on your head. The same God who clothes the lilies of the field and feeds the sparrows has promised to take care of you. If He cares for the smallest details of creation, how much more does He care for you, His child? The enemy wants you to doubt God's love, because when you doubt His love, you struggle to trust Him. When you forget how much He cares, you hold on to your worries instead of giving them to Him. But the cross of Jesus Christ is the greatest proof that God is for you, not against you. If He did not withhold His own Son to save you, why would He withhold anything else you need? God's love is not distant. It is personal. He sees your struggles, He knows your fears, and He invites you to lay them at His feet. The more you understand His love, the easier it becomes to trust Him. And when you trust Him, worry loses its grip. So let go of fear, rest in His love, and know that the God who holds the universe also holds to you. My friend, you were never meant to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. Worry drains your strength, steals your joy, and blinds you to the goodness of God. But today He is calling you to something greater. He is calling you to trust. Let go of the fear, release the anxiety, surrender the burdens you were never meant to bear. God is not asking you to figure everything out. He is asking you to place your life in His hands. He is bigger than your problems, stronger than your struggles, and faithful beyond measure. The storms will come, but you will not face them alone. The challenges will rise, but they will not defeat you, because the one who calmed the sea, the one who fed the multitudes, the one who conquered death itself, he is with you. And if he is with you, what do you have to fear? So right now, make the decision. Lord, I give it to you. I will no longer hold on to what you have already promised to take care of. I will trust you, I will rest in you, and I will walk in your peace. When you let God take over your worries, you will find what you have been searching for, not in the absence of trouble, but in the presence of the Almighty. And in that place, you will know what it truly means to live in His perfect peace.